ChatGPT versus Claude, and today I'm gonna make him compete to build GTA from scratch. And it's not gonna be just basic shapes. Instead, we'll attempt everything from 3D models, animations, shooting, city maps, NPCs, and cars. Yeah. I wanna die. Let's start with ChatGPT. I'm using ChatGPT Codex and gave it a master prompt. This is just an overview of what we are trying to achieve, but we'll be doing it in phases. First, we need a 3D model for our character. And if you have seen my last video, if you didn't, you definitely should. You can clearly see here that I'm an amazing 3D modeler. So this time I'm gonna give a chance to other less amazing people on Sketchfab, and I found this great model of CJ. Yeah, we're gonna make the good old San Andreas. I brought the models and the textures into ChatGPT project and asked it to create a third-person shooter controller with WASD keys and mouse for movement using the CJ model that we just copied and its animations. Oh, we don't have none of those, and my past experience with animation isn't really giving me confidence to try it this time. So I went to Mixamo. Holy smokes, that's some spicy stuff there. I'm just gonna use these animations as reference to create my own. Now with the animations placed in, I asked ChatGPT to finally create our third-person shooter controller. Try again. It's literally struggling to create a basic character controller, let alone NPCs and vehicle mechanics. I'm gonna try once more by turning up the effort to max here. Woo! It's actually looking good. And CJ moves with animations. We need to get his textures fixed. And I asked ChatGPT to do so, and it fixed it. Very cool. It's time for weapons. I mean rifle. I mean AK-47. Yeah, it's totally not an AK-47. I asked ChatGPT to add this as a child of CJ's right hand bone. And then I asked it to create a panel where I fine-tuned the position of the rifle and gave it the values to lock in. And with a couple of more prompts, we have a fully functional rifle with muzzle flash and bullets to fire. It's a bit off, but I tried with a couple of prompts and it couldn't fix it, so it is what it is and we have to move on. It's still pretty cool though. Now let's ask Claude to do the same to determine the winner of this phase. I gave the same master prompt, models and textures to Claude and asked it to start phase 1 character controller. And to my surprise, unlike ChatGPT, Claude created a great character controller in the first attempt. Yeah, in the first freaking attempt. We have the same texture and material issue though, and I asked Claude to fix it and so did it. The crosshair is on the character, so I took a screenshot and gave it to Claude and asked it to fix it. And with absolutely no issues, it fixed it. I have to say this, Claude absolutely went bonkers and shattered my expectations in a good way. And then, exactly the way we did with ChatGPT, I asked Claude to add our AK-69. Yeah. And with that, we have our phase 1 winner. Claude clearly crushed ChatGPT in performance and speed, but the controller itself, I prefer what ChatGPT has done. It looks and feels better, so I'm gonna give this one to ChatGPT. Next up, city generation. GTA is incomplete without its cities and maps. This phase will start with Claude. First off, we need a sky, because this is... I gave Claude a cube map and asked it to add it as sky. I got few buildings from Sketchfab and put my amazing modeling skills to work and created these modular building and road assets. I asked Claude to use these assets to create grid-based city. And it worked. Kinda. Road and building textures were off, so I asked it to fix it, and with couple of prompts in, it fixed it. Cool. And thus we have a city for CJ to walk on and explore. Now it's ChatGPT's turn. I gave same assets and same instructions to ChatGPT, and this is what it came up with. What? An is fucking like 3 FPS. And mind you, we are still on the highest effort, so I asked it to fix it and it didn't. So I had to ditch the city for ChatGPT and asked it to create an island instead with Berlin noise. Then I got a tree model for it to spawn on the island because an island without trees is just like a desert without water. Yeah. And it messed up again. So this is the best ChatGPT could do. With this, Claude clearly crushed ChatGPT to the ground and wins this phase. Do you remember the days you used to come from school with your friend and turn on your crappy old computer to play Voice City to socialize with people on the streets and kill them? Yeah, we need that here as well. So it's time for NPCs with Claude. I found this amazing model in Sketchfab, downloaded it and got few animations as well like we did with CJ, gave it to Claude and asked it to randomly spawn NPCs with animations around the player with a max health and damage on bullet impact when player shoots. Whew, it works. And also the NPCs flee in the opposite direction when they get shot. It's really amazing and terrifying at the same time that Claude gets it right every single time with minimal effort. So, moving on to ChatGPT. I gave the same instruction, model, texture, animations to ChatGPT and it did work this time. But this one has to go to Claude because I asked it one extra thing to do. I asked it to spawn the NPCs on pavements. It couldn't exactly do that, but it did come quite close. So, for doing this one extra thing, this one goes to Claude. And next phase is vehicle controller. We'll start with ChatGPT and if ChatGPT scores this phase, then it'll be a tie. And we don't have a tiebreaker. Yeah, I'm dumb. I got this model from, you guessed it, Sketchfab, gave it to ChatGPT and yeah, I'm not even sure if it's using the right model. And it's underground. I have no idea why. I asked it to fix it, but no luck. I'm pretty much getting used to this with ChatGPT now. So, moving on to Claude. I gave same model and instructions to Claude and sheesh, that's crazy. I don't even have to declare the winner because Claude won 3 out of 4 phases. It's shockingly good. You can even crash into NPCs and as I asked it to do, they literally die. So, like and subscribe for even crazier videos and if you don't, that NPC will be you.